Alright folks, and welcome back to the channel. We're here to discuss the news that Wilfried Nancy is the new Celtic boss, having been confirmed before the game on Wednesday. I'm joined by Alistair. I'm also joined by Lee. You probably not be able to see him as that much. Alistair, first and foremost, obviously, Nancy's been announced and stuff like that, but just your brief thoughts on Wednesday night's game and Martin O'Neill's final kind of goodbye.
Well, the game was rancid. I'll be honest with you, but job done, and the fact is, he's shut the gap. Thanks, Martin. Enjoy your retirement, and thanks for everything.
Aye, Liam. What about Martin O'Neill? Obviously, because we discussed him, and that we've discussed him quite a lot and discussed him at length. But obviously, kind of final goodbye and kind of thanks after the game on Wednesday night. As Alistair says, he was brought in today, instead of the ship. For me, he's done more than that, and he's got us a decent position for the new manager taking over.
I can't thank him enough. He went above and beyond, really. He answered us when we needed him. And as I said in the last podcast I was on, his legacy's actually improved, which is quite astounding. The guy is, honestly, he's right up there in my estimations. And just the way he handled everything, he came in such a short period of time, and as you said, brought us back level with a game in hand. And he's kind of put it on a pedestal a wee bit for Nancy in terms of kind of passing the baton to him and a kind of positive vibe, because coming in for Rodgers out in the cold would have been difficult. So he's doing it, as I said, with a more positive spin on it, which is ideal for the new boss. And I was saying to Alistair earlier, I watched the press conference and I was quite optimistic, but we can only judge him on performances. So I'm quite happy going forward. We needed a manager and we've got one, haven't we? A permanent one. So.
Aye. Alistair, obviously moving on to Wilfried Nancy. Obviously confirmed before the game on Wednesday. It's also been common knowledge for a few weeks now that Wilfried Nancy would take over. Obviously we had the press conference today. What's your kind of first thoughts about Nancy and obviously him taking over the dugout?
One thing I will say, I'm going to purely judge him on results. I'm not a big fan of judging press conferences. The proof will be in the pudding. But I certainly wish him all the best and willing to keep an open mind and give the guy a chance. And the one thing I will say, Josh, I think we're going to have no a lot of patience, but I think we might have to spin wait for a few weeks, as in it might take 2 or 3 weeks to get them fully adjusted to the league and stuff. And obviously the same players in and stuff.
Aye, no, definitely. Obviously the press conference, which no fan media shall add, was invited because the club just decides that they're not even allowed in all of a sudden. But anyway, that's another issue with the club that I'm severely pissed.
The directors were invited either.
Aye, which I'm severely pissed off about. We don't get invited to fan media. We're not popular enough. But
I think we're going
aye, even if we did, we're getting politely told to fuck off. But I mean, Liam, it's getting that balance between obviously patience and it's getting that balance between patience and needing to get results, because obviously at the end of the day it's Celtic, so I can say patience, but at the same time there needs to be kind of a mix of, but you still need to try and get results with what you've got at your disposal.
He touched on that. He mentioned that he's going to add a few nuances as he goes. So what I took from that was he's more or less going to stick with the same kind of style, formation, tactics perhaps. I'm not too sure about that. He might tweak some, but he's sticking to more or less the foundational plans that were left behind with Martin O'Neill and Sean Maloney, and he's going to add a few tweaks as he goes, because I think because he's quite a smart man by the sounds of it. Obviously, he's halfway through a season. We're on the way up, even though the performance wasn't great during the week. The result was still there, so I think he understands quite quickly. Result business, it's massive in Glasgow. If you're second place, you're a loser. Do you know what I mean? So where he came from, I don't know too much about the MLS, but the way it works, he won the MLS Cup and stuff like that. I think he ended very good. I think he was 7th or something like that place. So it's a brand new environment, but as Alistair said, we can only judge him on results and performances. But I've got a good feeling about him. It's a gut instinct that I got with Ange as well, so hope I'm right.
Aye, Alistair, I think with the MLS, it's, you know, the format's really strange. Even if you win the league that you're in, you don't win the MLS. You go into some sort of, like, I know, like I think the Miami won the Eastern Conference this season. They go on to play Vancouver in the final or something. So it goes into a kind of mini tournament format. But when he did win that MLS Cup, he won it with I think in Miami, I think he won it with maybe 10th of the budget that Inter Miami had done it with. So he's managed to kind of build up teams. There also is, Alistair, the thing in the MLS, we are not allowed just to go out and spend hundreds of
you're only allowed to spend, I think is it a 10-year turnover? I think it depends how big you're. Hence, I think you're allowed, I think the majority is to be homegrown, but I think you're allowed 3 marquee signings as it goes. But I was going to say to him, it might have finished 7th, but it only finished a point outside the playoffs. So it was kind of, like Josh said, it is kind of different. So you could, theoretically, you could finish 6th and still, it's a bit like the playoffs in the English Championship. You could finish 6th and still go up to Premier League.
I get you.
So he only finished a point outside the playoffs. So
I'm not even judging him based on that. To be honest, it's just the way it works, isn't it? That kind of system and that.
It's a bit like Belgium. Belgium works kind of like that, and Switzerland is such. But as I say, we can only judge him what he does for us, and we wish him all the best. And I'm glad he's got his own staff in as well.
I see he's still not been able to get fucking rid of Gavin Strachan though. I mean, honestly,
him and his laptop.
I don't know. I think there's all rumours about Gavin Strachan, about funny him being a part of
the mole.
The Dermot Desmond mouthpiece. That's the rumour. But anyway, but. I mean, we need to get behind him now. He is the manager. If you wanted him or you didn't want him, but that also falls onto the board. You need to get behind this because, you don't get behind them. We don't like you as it is. So, we saw that all night again, where people were aiming banners at the main stand, labelling them parasites.
Which is true.
The Green Brigade, and the boys kind of came together, put a banner. We at the moment, the board, we have got such a lack of patience. Like most fans now are like this. So if they don't back them, then we won't be blaming Wilfried.
It's like a ticking time bomb, isn't it?
It's like, so if we don't back Wilfried Nancy in January, we won't be blaming Wilfried Nancy, we'll be blaming the people at the top again.
According to the mute, Michael Nicholson, in his wall-to-wall interview with No Questions with Jerry McCulloch, he said, and I quote, "We will back Wilfried in the next 2 windows in January and the summer." Where have we heard that before?
So I'm just about to say that, Alistair. Where have we heard that before?
I'll believe it when I see it. That's what I'll say. Honestly, again, it looked like it was just reading a script off Jeremy McCulloch's heat. To be honest, don't get me wrong, and you're probably going to think it's mental coming from me, but at least we did see some sort of interview that wasn't anything to do with an AGM in it, because that's normally when we only hear. So I'm kind of a bit like, right, fair enough, I heard something. I'm still, it's no fixed anything, but at least it was...
I just hope it's no 2 steps forwards, 3 steps back though. But this board normally does. Do you know what I mean?
Aye, probably. We don't hear from them for the rest of the year. For the
Aye,
AGM in November.
We'll hear them to next November.
Aye.
They'll probably refuse to ask questions, answer questions even then.
Just as long as we behave ourselves, you know what I mean? We need to behave.
Aye. Behave and shut up. That's basically what we need to do. But Liam, I mean, Wilfried Nancy, I've only heard him speak a few times. He doesn't seem the type of guy that's going to sit and going to put up with the board's shite.
He doesn't appear a yes man, aye.
Aye. So if he isn't getting back to January all the summer, I think he would, like Ange, come out and say, right, we're not doing stuff quick enough here for my liking.
Aye, he comes across a genuine guy, doesn't he? Particularly in his press conference, and I kind of wee bit of research I did before it, and I watched a few YouTube clips. He just, to be frank, he looks as if he doesn't take any shite. And I like that about him, so I hope he just doesn't fall into a trap, though, that he ends up just going along with it because he's new and it's that sort of thing. But I don't think he will. It looks like he's a guy built on principles and ethos and stuff like that. So I think we're all right in that front. It's just the only thing that's worrying me and everyone else, and it's not a major worry. It's just will he implement his style a bit too quick? But I think from like a principle point of view, I don't think he's a yes man, Josh.
Aye, Alistair, the whole that's been one of the other bigger arguments is the whole style thing and how he's going to kind of implement when he's going to implement it. I think he knows he can't just go and implement a completely different style. I think realistically, to the end of this season, I think we'll see what we've been similar to what we've been seeing, maybe with a few tweaks. Because I can't see it. I can't see him completely saying, no, this has been working in the last few weeks. No, but that's not how I do things and change it. I think it would be making it really difficult for himself if he done that.
I was kind of glad when he said, I've spoken to Martin O'Neill. So Martin O'Neill will probably give him a heads up at working with the players. But he's probably just going to say, listen, I've found a way to at least get you to January. Once you get to January, you can make 2 or 3, and I think it will only be 2 or 3 alterations to the squad, and then hopefully from your point of view, and maybe I'm getting the board to the benefit of the doubt here, which I don't want to do. Maybe in the summer will be the major rebuild. Because I think it's going to have to come in the next 2 windows, in my opinion.
And Liam, he's going to have to find something quickly because his first game's first versus second. We play Hearts on Sunday. Then you've got Roma midweek, and then you've got the St Mirren in the cup final. So I keep hearing this phrase about 2 sides of a coin. He could generally either, come in and somehow get results out of all 3 of the games. Everybody's like, he's off to a superb start. Or it could be the opposite, and hopefully it isn't that when he doesn't. So it's a big start from this early on in his kind of Celtic career.
It's the nature of the beast. He's halfway through a season. I think he knows, as I said earlier, I think he's an intelligent man. I think he knows he can't just come in and make wholesale changes. It has to do it, small baby steps effectively. He needs to assess the squad he's got, assess the players for each position, etc. And he just needs to get results. And at the same time, he'll then need to, as he said in his press conference earlier today, just little nuance, approaches, details, that sort of thing. He is an intelligent man. You can tell the way he's speaking. He's an intelligent man. So for me, he's not going to come in and he's not going to just implement like a See, like these philosophy coaches nowadays, like Ruben Amorim and stuff like that. These guys refuse to change.
Russell Martin.
Aye, Russell Martin. So if that performance over result rubbish, which it works if you've got the players for it, and it's of course it's bollocks. I mean, Ange was quite similar in that respect, but you could see what he was building straight away. Do you know what I mean? But aye, results the main thing, and I think this man, I think he knows that. After speaking to Martin O'Neill, he'll definitely know it.
He needs. Sorry, Josh. He needs to buy himself time to put his style in. He can't do it right away. Because
the only way you can do that, Alistair, is results, innit?
You need to buy yourself time. Like, say, for example, and famous last words here, he shouldn't need to do a team talk for Sunday. Because the players should already know, right, we made an arset the last time we played this team. Let's go out and put it right. That's the team talk. That's the team
Revenge.
talk. Aye,
it's pretty much. And yeah, thankfully Martin O'Neill's put us with Wednesday night's results where Hearts, I don't know how, but dropped points against Kilmarnock. So we've got the chance. We've got the chance to go top. Well, we're joint top, but I think that's a top goal difference. So we've got the chance to go top of the league and put. You can tell the pressure's already getting to Hearts. You can tell a mile away. It's already kind of getting to them. So we've given a chance to even put any more pressure on them. We need to go and win that game. It's pretty simple for me. You need to win that game on Sunday because I think it could really set us off on a good kind of footing.
One on Sunday, 1 year game in hand. I'm going to go out on a limb here and say Hearts will no recover for that.
They'll finish third.
We go 6 clear of Hearts, mate. They ain't coming back.
They'll not come back as long as we don't give them the opportunity to. And that's the big thing. I know everybody goes, Hearts won't come back. It's all about us and how, if we, like under Rodgers, we were kind of stumbling for party post. We need to go on a run, and it starts on Sunday.
We can't have a Rodgers first season kind of thing.
We can't have that where we're stumbling for party post. A bit all over the place. And I get there is got to be teething issues. I completely understand that, but there's teething issues, and then there's just kind of stumbling all over the place really. So we need to kind of go on a run, and then hopefully that will kind of, as you say, put the pressure on Hearts, and hopefully if we can kind of pull away. Rangers, on the other hand, they're going through a lot at the moment in terms of their side at the moment. I think I'm going to go out here and say, I'm going to say this: whoever has the better January, Celtic, Rangers, or Hearts will win the league. I think it's that simple. I think
Rangers are still in my shout, eh?
I don't.
I'm going to say they're in my shout, but I think that always go back to us, under Postecoglou and that kind of first season where we were, as I said, stumbling, where we get the good result, but then you would also have St Mirren because we were down to bare bones. You would also have, I'm looking at our results, we drew with Livingston at home that season as well. You had, kind of stumbled.
I think, Josh, see Postecoglou's first season, I think, like, the first 6 games, we maybe lost 3 of them, but after that, we went on a great run. I don't know if it's maybe the second season you were talking about there.
And I think, but I also remember when we get into January, that's when we really kind of pulled ahead, and we went on this kind of, collision course. We went on this kind of collision course, and it really came together. And I think, that season Rangers kind of didn't really invest very well, didn't really do much in January, and it just... So I don't think, maybe I'll rephrase it and say, I don't think it's a guarantee if Rangers has a good track, but I think a big transfer window for either Celtic, Rangers or Hearts would really help their cause. And I hope, obviously, we're having a good window. It's imperative. What I'm trying to say is, it's crucial that we have a good window. That's pretty much what my point was.
Aye,
Well, you-
that's
I
I'm a wee
think
bit worried.
on you go, Liam. On you go.
On you go, pal. No, you're all right. On you go.
No, I was going to say you would hope we are saying a new manager, that it would get 2 or 3 players and the eyes did. I'm not saying the players that they'll go for will be as good as Maeda, Hatati and Jota, but I certainly hope they are. And even Giakoumakis, I would come for a Giakoumakis because I think that's what we're missing at the minute.
Oh, aye.
But what I was going to say was I'm glad we've changed the manager the new rather than wait to the end of the bloody season. I never got that argument at all, especially in a World Cup year.
If we waited to the end of the season, we would have lost the league. That's as simple as that, man. For me, there was no way back. There was no way back.
I mean, even the folk that said O'Neill to stay at the end of the season, nah, I never ever bought into that.
People
As
might.
much
No, I didn't. I agree with you. I didn't buy it at all. And Neil was great for us, right? And for the short period that we needed Martin Neil, he was fantastic. Long term, though, I don't know. I still look at some of the and it's all about getting results, as we says. You know, but Callum McGregor screaming away for not getting a result at St Mirren. You know, there was still a few.
The game was patchy.
Dundee yesterday, patchy as well. No, I'm no trying to say that's a neg. He got the results brilliant, but I still thought over the course, Martin for me, Martin towards the end, I think didn't want it. I don't think Martin wanted it.
No.
And I think somebody raised a point because they on Twitter, and it was a good point actually, and it says Martin what they've done with Martin last night is what they should have done with Neil Lennon after they won the Scottish Cup.
That's a great point. That's a great point.
And do you know why that is? Because I don't think that there would be. I'm not saying there is a talent in Neil Lennon's legacy. But I think there's always going to people. He was great, but he also hanged me 10 in a row, whatever. But at the time,
I think his legacy is tarnished. I'll be honest, Josh.
I think people. Neil Lennon was a fantastic man. I don't want to get into Neil Lennon fully, but Neil Lennon was a fantastic manager. But I think me personally, I'm always going to look back and go, I bet he never got the 10, and maybe. But I also do blame the club. I think it's important that's what I feared. I know this season is his biggest 10 in a row, but I feared that Martin Neil short term superb, but what happens if it's a full season?
Mm-hmm.
What's that? And then Martin Neil's knows he's not going to be in the summer, so
Martin Neil money's basically what you're saying.
January, even if he did, January for me would be a bit pointless.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm thankful for what Martin done, but I think it was important that we tried to get a manager in, which we've done. Obviously, preserve I think we've improved the legacy if it needed improving. Martin Neil, but it was important for me that we got a manager in.
As football fans, we can always be dead reactive, can't we? So somebody starts winning games and it's like, oh, he's the man, and we kind of forget the bigger picture about we need a full-time permanent manager. So I agree. I think nostalgic purposes, I loved having O'Neill, but I think it was the perfect time. A home game, send him away. He's got a seven games out of 8 record, just phenomenal, really. He's improved his win percentage. It was best for everybody, best for all parties that he leaves on a high, rather than staying at the end of the season, potentially things going south, and you've got that kind of sour taste in your mouth. So I totally agree with the whole Neil Lennon comparison. That's actually a really good comparison, actually.
Yeah. We should have put Martin O'Neill, to be honest. I'm just glad for you, Josh. Me and Liam seen Martin O'Neill the first time round. You guys, like your generation, knows
the young guys,
no, knows what all the fuss was about. And
Aye, I'm the
that,
same, Alistair. That's a good point as well.
that's a nice way to end it.
It's a good I told you so, innit? It's like saying like to your, I don't know if you've got kids and stuff, like, talking about previous managers and then they get to actually see it. Must be quite good for the Celtic dads, actually. Yeah.
Aye.
I hate that phrase, William. Hate it. I hate the Celtic dad comparison.
You're old enough to be Celtic dads, Alistair.
That's why he hates it. That's why he hates it. No, but to end off, I mean, I'm going to come to, because one last wee thing I want to. You talked there about, football fans being fickle, and if we, go on a run of games and he like the manager's a messiah, but if he doesn't, he loses, he's shite, he's useless, whatever. I think that's very important when it comes to Nancy for me. I think these next 3 games, as I said, there's 2 sides to the coin. If he goes on a run and somehow gets maybe the 2 domestic game, the league game, or maybe if he wins all 3, we can't be going, he's the messiah, he's brilliant and whatever else, because I watched I think it was another one from Paul. He done a video on managers' first games and how they got on, and there was a lot. It's very different with Celtic. Some managers come in, like for fuck's sake, John Barnes started with at Celtic. So
look how that ended.
So that's what I'm trying to say. It's no, if he does come in, done really well, he's a messiah, he's going to work out. But I think on the flip side of that, like Ange maybe starts off poorly, because maybe other factors, we can't got his shite, get him out, sack. Because I think that's...
He needs 2 wins.
I think that's what we've seen at Rangers, especially as soon as, the manager, they don't give managers time to get something right. And
it's rinse and repeat over there, isn't it?
So I think it's important. You can't get too carried away on both sides. That's what I'm trying to say.
Don't get too high or too low. On you go, mate.
On you go, man. I was just going to say...
on you go.
On you go. Wagon.
No, on you go.
No, I was just going to say the last 2 Celtic managers to lose their first game was Wim Jansen and Postecoglou, and they both done a great job in the time they were there. So
you tell Wilfried Nancy needs to get beaten Sunday?
No, I hope not.
Listen, I agree with Josh, but it's imperative that we're patient with the guy regardless, and we can't get too high or too low. So the first 3 results, say they're positive, we can't make it as if this guy's the next, Martin O'Neill or Postecoglou or whatever. We just need to give him a bit of time and try not to be as reactive as we all can be. We're all guilty of it, but I agree with you, Josh.
I'm the most negative Celtic fan you ever come across. I'm so downbeat, it's unbelievable. I just moan.
To be fair, that's a good point.
I just moan, man. I just moan. I agree with you. I'm moaning face bastard when it comes to Celtic thing.
So what you're saying, Josh, is you want us to get beaten Sunday so you can moan?
No.
He doesn't even know when you get beat. 10 minutes, he'll begin it. That's his shite.
That's what I'm like normally. That's what I'm like. I'm normally like 10 minutes in when his scales boots the ball at the park for the first time.
20 minutes into Brendan Rodgers' first game back, Liam says, I'm not enjoying this, by the way. That's just boring.
I mean, to be fair, it was.
Alistair, to be fair, the football was turgid when he first came back. I don't care what anybody says.
It
was absolute rancid.
First game, William.
I was shite. His first game was pish. This was so boring, man.
He looked at me as if to say, is this hat?
The horseshoe of death, is this what I've got to look forward to,
right? But no, I think it's just important that we don't get too downbeat or too negative, shall I tell myself that, about if it goes, maybe a bit pear-shaped or on the opposite.
I'll remind you said that on Sunday.
No, he should be winning on Sunday. If he doesn't, right, I'm going to rephrase that.
Doesn't get him out.
Being negative doesn't mean you can't come on and criticise. No, I'm not. You can come on and criticise you want, but I'm not going to be if he gets beaten, get him out or anything like that. But you can still come on and criticise because I think he's a Celtic manager. He's open to criticism now, and he needs to, as we'll say, it's a results business. So he needs to get the results starting on Sunday. But any other thoughts just before I wrap it up?
We should say we're not doing a starting 11 prediction because none of us know what Wilfried Nancy wants, so that would be a bit pointless. But can I just say before, and I think it's important to get this out, if you can do the mark for St Mary's to the Celtic way, please do it because I still think it's important to get this board out.
Aye, no, definitely.
Oh, aye, 100% agree.
We've not done score prediction. Nobody got it right. On Wednesday it was.
So I'm still winning
miles off it.
Aye, but he's just got to sit and 4-0 all season. Honestly. Right, Liam, you went first, didn't you? So
you did.
No, I gave Liam it first. Right, I'll go first this time. Think we'll win. 2-1.
I was going to say.
That's absolute time.
Okay. Going to be a bit more positive then. Let's go 3-1.
Arsenal.
Bastard, Liam, that was mine. I'll go 2-0 then.
2-0, right. We need to start getting you some competition because this is getting ridiculous, man. We've been sitting 4-0 for about 4 weeks. But no, I'm hoping we need to get the result by hook or by crook, as to say.
This is my view and not the view of Boys and Green podcast. We cannot have Derek McInnes sporting it over this much longer. So please, Celtic, do the business.
I wouldn't worry about that. He's panicking big time, by the way. I can tell. Look, the guy's feeling the pressure, man.
No, but let's hope that we can get the result and get back to the top of the table. Well, we should be basically. I would say
top of the table, as in French.
But no, I'm going to wrap it up there for today's video. It's kind of just been talking about the manager and a wee mini Hearts preview, but. As usual, we're back on Sunday after the game for post-match reaction. Hopefully talking about a Celtic win and being back.
The top tier.
Being top of the league again. But until next time, we'll speak to you later. And hail.
Hail.